What's up, everyone? Welcome back. It's NFL Week 15 playoff week for your fantasy football leagues. And for us DFSers, it's just another week. It's Tuesday, and this is our first look Draftkings Week 15 lineup. All right, what's up again? Kevin Allen here from DFS Army, and we're taking a look at the NFL Week 15 slate from a DraftKings DFS perspective. It's early in the week. COVID is everywhere. The vid is raining vids. Omicron, it's Shiba, Kamini, Soma, Omicron. You know what I'm talking about. It's everywhere. Players dropping like flies. I don't even know what the fuck is going on, but we're going to try to figure it out. I'm going to try to get this shit together. And as you guys know, or maybe you don't know, if you're the first time with us here, what I like to do before we get into even looking at the actual players, the salaries, all that shit, is taking a look at the player cards here on the DFS Army Domination Station. Get a look at any games that seem like there might be of interest. And guys, take note. All right, what are you seeing here? You're seeing a lot of low game totals. Look at all this orange and yellow. Where's the green? There's no green. There's no fucking green. All of these games, there's no green. It's crazy. Look at it. I shit you not. So we've got a week where the highest game total is this destruction that the Cardinals are expected to put on the Lions, at the Lions. At least it's in the dome. Got to figure out what the deal is with James Conner. Got to figure out what the deal is with Chase Edmonds. But if it's James Conner and no Chase Edmonds, load him up. Cardinals not normally a team I like to stack or get crazy with because they have so many players, but it's possible that DeAndre Hopkins will be out for that game. So maybe we'll get a condensed target. Maybe we can play some of the players from the Cardinals. We'll see. Not ready to commit to it just yet. Moving over, you've got a game here. I mean, wow, the Jaguars are favored over Houston. I mean, anyone else think Davis Mills might be better than Trevor Lawrence right now? It might be just because hate the face Urban Meyer sucks, but I don't know what's going on with the Jaguars. Kind of weird that they're favored here. I don't really know if I could go there, but maybe that's a game we got to target because the players are cheap and both defenses are really bad. We'll see. Here we got the Panthers at the Bills. Not much to like about the Panthers team here. Bills heavy favorite. Yeah, sure. Bills. Great. Moving on, we got the Dolphins at the Jets. I like the Dolphins side of this game. Yeah, Sil Davin. I agree with you, man. I likes me some Tua, and my first builds of the week definitely focused on some players from Miami. We always want to target the Jets defense, especially when they're on the road. So bad. Here we've got a game between the Titans and the Steelers. I don't really know what's going on for the Titans on offense at this point. I think it's kind of weird that they're favored. Going to have to bet against them, I think. But, interesting one. Here we've got the Eagles at Washington. Again, non-competitive games for the most part. I think you could play Myles Gaskin against the Jets, actually. I do think you can play him. Yes. But we'll take a look at the matchups and see if Myles Gaskin is getting the workload that we want. But here we've got Eagles. Eagles team has been good to us. I generally prefer Jalen Hurts in games where I expect them to be trailing. And in this case, they'll be leading, and the Eagles could lean heavy on the run. So we'll see. But overall, 24.5-point team total is interesting. Here we've got Dallas with a 28-point team total in a supremely non-competitive game against the Giants. Again, it's hard to want to get too involved with that. We got San Francisco at home taking on the Falcons. San Francisco running back should be in play. I think you're talking about, I do believe Myles Gaskin will be back. So, it's Tuesday. But I think he'll be back for this game. He had the COVID last week. It usually, for whatever reason in the NFL, doesn't seem to last 2 weeks. But I really like San Francisco. I like their running back Elijah Mitchell in this spot against the Falcons. Hell yeah. I don't like the Falcons on the road. San Francisco defense, let's keep it in mind. Here's a gross one between the Bengals and the Broncos. Not a pretty game. I mean, none of them look very pretty. We got the Packers at the Ravens. Packers, Devontae Adams, that could be interesting. And of course, my favorite game of the weekend, slightly lower totaled than I was expecting. The Rams and Seattle. And I really like the Rams on this one. I like everything about the Rams, the running game, the passing game. We saw last week, Odell Beckham Jr. will be out. He got the vid. So what that tells us is we can get excited about Van Jefferson. Hey, where do we go? The brown-eyed boy. And we can get excited about Cooper Kupp, the blonde-haired boy. So there we go. There we go. A little bit of an overview of the slate. Now let's get to the players on the DraftKings screen. Actually, before we even do it, I do like to do a little quick sort by value on the Dom station. And here we go. I mean, Tua pops as the top value quarterback. You see some of these other turdly ones floating around. Let's see if any of the players kind of stand out a little bit. It's very early in the week. Let's give a little run through. Cooper Kupp popping as the top value wide receiver at 9K, which is insanity. But yet, here we are. That's our life now. And then Marvin Jones Jr., and Laviska, Laquan Treadwell, oh boy. Oshag Hennessy, Higbee coming back. Higbee could be interesting, I guess, at 4K at tight end. Tight end was really tricky for me as I did my previous to the show kind of first look lineup. I was like, man, we want to spend down at tight end, but it wasn't that easy. So let's get started. And again, we talked about some of these these quarterbacks this week. Josh Allen, non-competitive game. I like him, but not my favorite guy to play. Kyler Murray showed us that when they can lean on the run, sometimes Kyler Murray doesn't do crazy Kyler Murray things this past week, so we can be aware of that. Aaron Rodgers, definitely playable here, I would say, against Baltimore. But if Baltimore is going to be rolling out a backup quarterback, I'm sort of less interested. I'm not sure if it'll be competitive. We've got to see what the deal is with Lamar Jackson. Suffered a low ankle sprain, unable to return, isn't dealing with a high sprain. We'll monitor him. Harbaugh said has a chance to play this weekend. So, we'll see. We'll see about him. I think the first quarterback that stands out to me as a, hey, let's just play this guy kind of situation, probably Matt Stafford at 7K. And what I like about Matt Stafford, number one, he's easy to stack. If Odell Beckham's going to be out, we know it's Cooper Kupp. We know it's Van Jefferson. It's, you know who it is. And I like that. Of course, paying up to 7K for a quarterback is a little tricky, but he is easy to stack. Dak against the Giants, again, very non-competitive. Joe Burrow in a tough spot, very low scoring game total there. The other guy that stands out, Sildavin, called it out. Here is Tua Tagovailoa. And what I like about Tua here is just the discount, 5,700. He's going up against the Jets. I like that as well. So I'm going to keep it in mind. I think I'm going to stick with Stafford, but I want to keep Tua in mind as one of the other very, very few quarterbacks that kind of pop off the page. Continuing down the list, Ben Roethlisberger had a couple good games recently, but I'm not really counting on him to continue doing that. Davis Mills is an interesting tournament play against Jacksonville. No more than that. I guess Huntley, if he played, would be mildly interesting in tournaments. And even Trevor Lawrence has some mild tournament appeal in GPP. But if we're playing a normal lineup, for me, it's probably this week. I'd say Stafford is interesting. Jalen Hurts is interesting down here. And Tua is interesting. So I think we'll build this one around Stafford, but I wouldn't mind doing a Tua lineup as well. Now, my second move is right to the defense. I just want to see who the cheapest viable defense is this week. And let's just go through it here. So Carolina at Buffalo, I don't want that. Lions, definitely no. Jets, definitely no. Baltimore, that's a no for me as well. Seattle at the Rams, that's no go. New York Giants at home, that's a no. Washington at Philly, if they were at home, maybe I'd have some interest. Falcons, no. Jacksonville, right? So the first two, defenses that stand out are Houston and Jacksonville. Both of these teams are very generous to opposing defenses. So we might want to choose one of these two. I feel like I'm more inclined to choose Houston. Jacksonville's been playing worse. I don't mind the idea of playing the Steelers here at 3K. Buffalo definitely at 3,100. And San Francisco at 3,100 as well. And the Rams. So I think I'm going to try to pay up a little bit here. Maybe we'll grab Buffalo. We don't even know who Carolina's quarterback is. I think they're in a shit show. They've talked about Darnold. Cam Newton stinks. Yeah, let's take Buffalo defense here. Buffalo going to score. They're going to put a little pressure on Carolina. Now, I don't know what the COVID is going to do this week in terms of value players, right? But as of this moment, there isn't a standout running back who's going to be getting all the touches, who really jumps off the page that we could pay down for, right? Darnold, good luck with that. Like, if it's Darnold, I'm not worried about it. So there isn't a pay down. I mean, Rashad Penny was the sort of darling of the week last week. Let's see what the deal is with what's going on with this COVID, dude. It's everywhere. Cardinals didn't activate Edmonds. He'll remain out. 25, a game time decision. Probably Edmonds coming back. It's going to mess up Connor a little bit as a play. Rashad Penny had the big week, but let's not go crazy. He only had 16 carries, 1 reception, got lucky with the touchdowns, and this is the Rams. So let's not go crazy. James Robinson, you kind of like, hey, yeah, I like James Robinson. Well, this dude only got 4 carries. I mean, he's in play, but I don't really trust the Jaguars, even as disgusting as it sounds, even against the lowly Texans. I don't trust them. Can't play Chuba, can't play Dylan, can't play Sanders, can't play Sony, can't play Tony. Where are the playable running backs? Well, looks like it starts here with Darrell Henderson. Darrell Henderson's fine. Totally fine. Playable. Totally playable. I don't love him with Matthew Stafford, so let's keep that in mind. I don't think the correlation is that great. Melvin Gordon is a no, but Antonio Gibson is interesting. Again, it's not the best spot in the world, but we can go back to sort of stud off a dud in this case. So let's keep him in mind, but I really don't like him that much when J.D. McKissic plays. It lowers his expectations by quite a bit. But one guy who I do feel really comfortable with is Eli Mitchell. Going to plug him right in. As long as Eli is playing, and he was not considered a serious injury, and it was a last, they thought he might play last week. So I do think he'll come back and get a full workload. But I like Mitchell here. He's a great workhorse, and they don't really rest him all that much. So, yeah, I think we can grab Eli Mitchell. Some other names that are floating around in the cheaper zone here. We want running backs that are on winning teams. Swift, hopeful, will be available. Let's see if he comes back. I don't want to rely on him playing this week. MRI to the ankle of James Conner, so we can't trust him. Plus, we don't know if Edmonds will be back. If Edmonds is back, I'm off. Although, maybe James Conner's playable anyway against the Lions. To be honest, I don't know if I'll be off of him. I think James Conner, we can go right back to it, actually. And he did not get priced up for his incredible performance the other day because, it was after they priced him. Thank you. Aaron Jones at this point is fully splitting carries. I don't like that. Saquon Barkley's kind of splitting carries too. I don't like that. Cordero in a tough defensive matchup. I don't like that. So rolling up the list, much like the game options are pretty shitty for this slate, the player, I think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to plug in Darrell Henderson, even though Stafford is here. I don't care. You know what? The game options look bad, and the running back options look bad. Maybe something will open up later in the week for us. But, sure. Do I kind of like Najee Harris up top and Joe Mixon? Sure. I do. But Najee 7,800, I don't know that I can make a Stafford lineup with Najee Harris in it and have it look any bit good. There aren't that many value plays. I really haven't thought of any value plays as of right now. So I think it's better to go with Darrell Henderson, who is going to be coming off the COVID list, well rested. It's going to be feeling good. And that's our guy. Darrell Henderson had a few weeks to rest his injuries, and he's going to come back stronger than ever, I hope. So there we go. Let's plug in Darrell Henderson. And again, consider that I'm open to, actually, I'm going to do it. No, I'm not going to do it. Not yet. But I'm open to removing Stafford and putting in Tua. Speaking of Tua, let's start with some wide receiver value for this slate. And the first guy that I'm looking at is Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker, he came back last week, got a full workload in, and he's cheap at 4,300. I think Tua is going to be throwing a lot. I'm just ready to plug him right in and get the 15 points. Yeah, Lions. I'm reading your comments. Another guy that I think I have some, we're going to have to live a little bit in this area. So, Lazard had a big game last week. I don't know if we can count on that. Westbrook Akine, no. Josh Reynolds, okay, maybe. Rondale Moore could be okay. These younger players sometimes come on late in the season, but, there's been none of that with Rondale, that one crazy game. So I think that we might have Hopkins out again, which makes the Arizona pass catchers interesting, but it's still hard to narrow them down. Let's see here. Rondale Moore, Cortland Sutton, Marvin Jones Jr. is interesting. I don't hate Marvin Jones Jr. in this matchup at all. I played him last week a little bit. Didn't hurt me at 13 points. Didn't get the touchdown, but I don't hate Marvin Jones Jr. I think he's very playable. Let's keep him in mind. If we're going to keep Stafford in there, though, we're going to have to stack him. And I think Van Jefferson is a comfortable stack with Stafford here. Of course, I want to play Cooper Kupp, but it doesn't leave me a whole lot of salary. But actually, I don't mind that right there. But just keeping in mind, it does not leave us a whole lot of salary. Let me see what it looks like with not Cooper Kupp, with somebody else a little less expensive. Actually, let's go for tight end first. We'll put the tight end in. We'll see how much money we have left. So tight end options are not super inspiring either. When we go to the cheap zone, as of now, there's not a whole lot of players here that I think can get us 15 plus fantasy points. Let's see here. Bates, gross. Swaim, no. Evan Ingram, gross. Oshag Hennessy. Listen, Oshag Hennessy, stop trying to make it a thing. It's not a thing, okay? He's not going to be a thing. Stop it. Dawson Knox, man, you kind of have to pay up. What a weird week where I don't like anything. Zach Ertz is interesting at 5,400, but such a low ceiling. I think you want to pay down. I think I want to pay down this week, and I don't know. Let's keep it based around this game. So I'm gonna go Gerald Everett. It does not feel the best, but probably not looking at a SMEM, man. No, let's go with Ricky Seals-Jones, actually. 3,400. Gets 6 or 7 targets each game. Washington, I guess they don't really have anyone to throw to. Terry McLaurin be covered by Darius Slay. I think we can go Ricky Seals-Jones for now. I just want to pay down at tight end. There's nothing inspiring. I don't think paying up is the best move. We'll see. So if I'm paying down like that, I could probably plug in Cooper Kupp, double stack. The thing is, I can't get the triple here. There's no way I can squeeze in, a Tyler Lockett or even a DK. I'd love to play DK Metcalf in a lineup like this. 700. Let's say you did that. There's no way to squeeze the 700 out unless you either just take a 0 at tight end, which I don't want to do. Definitely not taking 0. I'm not a 0 taking kind of guy. I don't like it. So that doesn't work, but I'd love to have DK Metcalf in that spot. The other thing is, let's say we put in the same tight end also went to Ricky Seals-Jones or Gerald Everett's the same. These guys are all kind of the same. Oh, Shaq Hennessy is a piece of shit. Either that, I would have to punt the defense with one of these, which I don't think is acceptable. So I think you got to try to get a few points out of your defense as well. You just can't play like Panthers or Lions, Jets at Miami. You just can't play them. Maybe Baltimore, but it's not going to work. So we might as well just put in the defense we think has a chance to get us 15. And then in the flex, here's one thing that I'm already seeing. Unless some crazy value opens up this week, which it might. It might. You know who I like for the start spot? I mean, I don't mind Gallup. James Robinson, I guess. Be interesting to pair up James Robinson with Jaguars defense, but that Jaguars team's a fucking mess. Julio Jones, Rashad Penny, no. Now, I want to talk about Rashad Penny. Like, he'll get a lot of carries, but this is Rams defense. Like, no. I think the guy I kind of want in this spot, let's see here. So the guy I kind of want, how about Brandon Cooks? Brandon Cooks got peppered with targets last week, 11, 5,800. I don't mind the price. You know what? How about Brandon Cooks? And we pair him up with Texans defense. Now you might say, Texans defense and Brandon Cook, that doesn't go together. But I say, if the Texans are playing well, maybe their defense will do some stuff. Maybe Brandon Cooks will do some stuff. I don't fucking know. So there we go. I don't mind it. First look lineup. Now, keep in mind, guys, that as the week rolls on, we'll probably get more COVID news. Who knows what the hell's going on out there? But here's a Stafford, Kupp, Van Jefferson triple stack. It's not a game stack. We only got a team stack in there. We got Devontae Parker, nice volume machine, couple of volume-heavy running backs over here. We've got a 10-plus targets wide receiver in Brandon Cooks and a defense going up against a Jacksonville team that is bleeding points to opposing defenses. I don't mind it. I don't think it's bad. I think it's early in the week, not too bad. Interesting approach to the slate. Let's see what happens. Good luck this week, guys. Remember, I'll be back with the Wise Guy Show betting breakdown on Wednesday night. We got a bit of a different week this week because of the 2-game Saturday slate. Still trying to work out how we're gonna kind of deal with content, but we will have a breakdown for the 2-game slate, a main slate breakdown. We're gonna have it all. Stick with the channel here. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time with another DFS breakdown.